Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to Sipping Wealth Live. Hello. So I am so happy to be back with you all. Today, we're going to be talking about gig and economy workers. Just giving y'all some tips on what to keep in mind and some tax planning for this year. So, for those of you that are tuned in with me, go ahead and make sure that you drop a comment in the comment section. Um, hey, what's up? Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what time it is that you're tuned in if you're watching, if you're doing the rewatch. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and jump into this topic. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel that is Sipping Wealth YouTube channel. Make sure that you're subscribed and the notification bell is on. Again, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know if y'all have questions as I'm going through the information. And I want to make this as concise as possible so that those that are rewatching, or if you want to check this out afterwards, you'll be able to get all the information that you need. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started. So, for tip number one, I really want to make sure that as far as when we're starting, when we're thinking about, hey, I am 1099, I'm a contractor, or maybe I do Uber, or maybe I do DoorDash, whatever the case may be, or maybe I do some work on the side on Upwork or whatever other platform like that. You want to make sure that you are separating. We're going to start from the nitty gritty, that you are separating your business and your personal transactions. You need a separate account. You need to make sure that you're able to identify the money that's coming in for that work, the expenses that's going out for that work, and then your personal stuff. You can't have them commingling, because if that happens, then in case of an audit, what ends up happening, it's hard for you to determine or to even justify that this was for business or for that gig or freelance work versus your personal life or your personal expenses. So make sure that you're opening up a separate account. Also, as I'm speaking, if y'all do have questions, make sure that you drop it in the comment section. I do this live for a reason. So, hey, drop the questions in. Let me know. Let me know. All right. So also making sure that you are keeping meticulous records, y'all. It is so crucial that you have detailed records of all your income and expenses, your receipts, those invoices. Good record keeping not only makes tax filing a lot less stressful and easier, but it also makes it make you able to identify, okay, how much is this side hustle actually making me? Is it beneficial? Am I pouring way too much money into getting it started than it's actually worth? Things like that. You're able to identify different things so that you're able to make the right decisions moving forward. So make sure, and of course, during tax time, it makes it a lot easier, because when you come and you tap in and you're like, hey, strategic tax accountants, I'm ready to do my taxes, it makes it easy to be like, hey, all my stuff and things, I have it neatly in a folder, or I have it on a drive, or I have it in a software. Here you go. Let's get these taxes done. All right. Also, when it comes to sales tax, a lot of different things that you're doing. Some of the times you are being charged or needing to file your sales tax. So making sure that you have adequate records of that income that you're receiving, so you're paying the right amount to the Department of Revenue, is crucial, y'all. Okay. Next, all right. Making sure that you're actually taking advantage of these business deductions. So, because a lot of the times, like the freelance work and the gig economy work, these small, money that maybe even hobbies that you're doing on the side, you may do them and you're thinking, oh, I'm just doing them on the side. It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and file my taxes with them. But you're also leaving a lot of expenses that can help bring your taxable income down, that you can bring up to the table, like home office deduction, supplies that you may be ordering off of Amazon, or different equipment. Maybe you had to go to Walmart or order off of Walmart.com, whatever the case may be. Softwares, business travel expense. I'm going to do a separate live on business travel that is gonna it's gonna be great. But anywho, but making sure that you're actually taking advantage of these deductions with your freelance and gig economy work. All right, so the next thing is making sure that you're actually sending in your quarterly estimated tax payments. This is a very easy way to get hit with a tax penalty, okay, for not doing those estimated tax payments. So these quarterly estimated tax payments are based on the net profit of the business, and then you're sending off what you would owe in taxes for that quarter to the IRS. So how do you calculate this? So you're going to take into account your income tax bracket, and you're going to take into account self-employment tax. So self-employment tax is 15.3%. And your income, as far as your income bracket, that's going to be based on how much money you're actually earning. So that first 9, 10,000 amount around there is going to be at is going to be at a certain bracket. Then you're going to go up from that 9, 10,000 amount up to about 44,000. So depending on where you fall in that bracket, it's going to determine how much you should put aside for that. A nice rule of thumb is about 20%. Just going ahead and put it to the side. But if you want a more accurate number, you really want to. There are calculators online too. You could Google, pop, pop, pop. Hey, what is my quarterly estimated tax payment if I made this amount of money net for that quarter? It's not going to take into account if you have W-2 income and combined with that gig work, but it'll give you kind of a nice estimate as far as how much you should send for that particular quarter. But make sure that you're actually sending it, because that's a tax penalty that you can avoid. Um, and the next is health insurance deduction. So I gotta say this. I gotta slow down when I say this. Self-employed um, for my health insurance deductions. My self-employed individuals, they can deduct 100% of your health insurance premiums. And that's for themselves, their spouse, like these are my self-employed individuals. So you can actually take advantage of this health insurance deduction, as a self-employed individual. Making sure that this is easy deduction to go ahead and take advantage of. And that's not even tapping into the HSA account, FASA account, things like that. And the next I want to cover is your retirement savings. I'm pretty sure I brought this up in just about every live for the last few weeks, because retirement savings is huge, especially in this day and age. A lot of millennials are looking to retire sooner, and of course, our parents are nearing that retirement age, or if not already in that retirement age. So we're looking at retirement a whole lot sooner, and we're also looking at, okay, our parents are retiring, and we're starting to see, okay, maybe they don't have enough money for retirement. Hey, or maybe we're seeing, hey, I want to be able to retire sooner. I don't want to have to work until I'm 65, 70 years old. So making sure that we are contributing, we are taking advantage of our SEP IRA accounts, solo 401k, simple IRA accounts. If you need assistance with like retirement structure, setting that thing up, I'm setting the it up. I do have a great contact that I can send you over to, that could help give you more insight and information on that. My next is understanding the 1099 NEC form. So that's the 1099 NEC. So this form is for my non-employee employee compensation, and 1099 NEC. Okay, non-employee compensation. All right. So this is for my 1099 contractors. Maybe you're doing like I said, freelance work, gig work, things like that, and you receive this 1099, and you're like, oh, I only did $800 worth of work with this person? Why are they giving me a 1099? Well, that threshold is $600. So if you earned more than $600 with that particular person, agency, whatever the case may be, they should be giving you a 1099 NEC so that you can file on your taxes. But also, even if you do not receive that 1099, you are still responsible for making sure that you're reporting that income on your tax return. I'm going to repeat that again. All right. Even if, I should say, even if you do not receive that 1099 NEC form, and that's if you made more than $600 from that person. Maybe they send you a form. Maybe you made $1,000. Maybe you made whatever the case may be. If they don't give you that form, you are still responsible for reporting that income on your tax return. So let's make sure that all that's recorded. My next is to make sure I ain't got no questions. Let me know if I have questions, y'all. Don't be shy. Say hey. All right. My next thing is my educational expense. So, of course, in every line of work, we're looking to perfect our craft, be experts in our areas of expertise. We're looking to develop. We're looking to educate ourselves. We're maybe attending different summits and web and workshops and conferences, things like that. Purchasing books, all that. So these are educational expense that's going to help you improve your skills and your particular line of work or your business. And these are deductible. So don't negate writing off that book or going over to that conference and using that as a write off, things like that. Because that can help overall lower your tax liability. My next thing is my vehicle expense. So for my vehicle expense and for my vehicles that weigh um, for my 179 deductions, it is 80%. Excuse me. It is 80% for last year. It will be 60%. And then it's going to go down to 40% and then to zero. This new bill that they're looking to pass is looking to extend the 100% out. But right now we're looking at 80%. So you may think, oh yeah, 100%, deduction if my vehicle is in that 6,000 pound limit. So that's only the case. That was the case in previous years, but for last year, for 2023, you're looking at 80%, and they may even change it for 2024 moving forward. Depending on if that law get passed. So we're still keeping our ears and eyes open to that. Okay. My next one is utilizing an accounting software. Even if you're like, oh, I don't want to do QuickBooks, um, maybe QuickBooks is very extensive and it's just like freelance small work. You can do FreshBooks, which is like a simpler software. It's like a simple version of QuickBooks. Is owned by the same company. FreshBooks. You have different softwares like that. But using an accounting software will help with preparing your financial statements, even invoicing clients. A lot of them have merchant processing through the actual accounting software. Um, and it's just helping with keeping track of your income, expenses, things like that. You definitely want to make sure that everything's kind of streamlined. You have everything in a nice um, software area that you can look back to, that you can gather your information and say, here you go. I know exactly how much money I made. I know exactly how much expenses I had. I know exactly how much I spent on supplies and whatever the case may be. You want to be able to tell that in any area of business, whether you're just doing it as a side hustle or you're actually wanting to grow your business. Huge, huge, huge. And then my last two is the two that I always mention. One is to make sure that you are hiring a knowledgeable tax professional. Um, because we can talk about tax planning and making sure that you are taking advantage of appropriate deductions, credits, things like that. Of course, they're going to kind of vary depending on your particular situation or industry. But there is a lot of information out there. So making sure that you're informed, that your tax professional is well informed, and that you continue to tune into these lives, that you share them with your friends, things like that, because this is definitely going to help with making sure that, okay, you're more previewed to to what's going on in the financial and tax and accounting world, so that you're able to better be better stewards of your finances. And able to scale your business moving forward. So, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I kept the lives nice and concise. So, let me see if I got any questions. And then just to recap, I did go over making sure that you understand your what your obligations are, your tax obligation, keeping your business and personal separate, making sure you keep accurate and meticulous records, making sure that you take advantage of these business deductions, education expense, home office expense, healthcare insurance expense, making sure you do your quarterly estimated tax payments, which are going to be due in April for this first quarter, and then making sure that you are understand these 1099 NEC forms. We also have the 1099K, which is for your merchant processors. If you're over the for 2023, if you are over the $20,000 limit or or had over 200 transactions, they're going to give you a 1099K. Now, for those of you that maybe made over this amount and still didn't receive one, you are still required to file that income, and you could reach out to the platform to see if they'll even give you one. But again, you're still required to file that income. And for 2024, that's this year, when you file this year's taxes, the threshold is $5,000. So that's Cash App, all that. You send $5,000 or more through there, that 1099K is gonna come visit you. um, all right, y'all. So, like I said, make sure that you share the live, make sure that you tune in, continue to tap in. I welcome feedback as well. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know, if you have a particular topic or thing that you're like, oh my gosh, I hope you touch on this. Let me know, let us know. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Sipping Wealth Live. I will see you next week, where I will be covering. Okay. We're going to be talking about life changes next week, the impact of life changes. All right. So I will see y'all next week at 6 o'clock for another episode of Sipping Wealth Live. Have a great evening, y'all.